Hi, good morning. My name's John Wright. I'm looking over at the time right now. It's 3/9 of 2024. And you know what? My name is John Wright, and it is Saturday. We're probably going to have a peaceful day in the neighborhood. I don't think this guy's going to be making noise, and I don't think that guy's going to be shooting bullets today. And you know what's really neat about this is when I start doing stories like this, things start straightening out around me really quick, like the noise decibel level and the family's acting out, you know. And by the way, I'm sure that each and every one of my family members that I'm right here sitting here exposing them for what they've been involved in. Well, like my sister, you know, at this here property right here that's on this, my sister came right here to this here property where I'm at after I've been ran off by my family, you know, and she comes there and she's dancing next to me. She's dancing next to me, back and forth, just dancing, sitting there dancing. My son and me is standing there next to her. And I said, "What is wrong? What is wrong with you?" I said, "I have just had my life ripped right out from underneath of me, and you're sitting here dancing." And she says, "I'm so happy because I'm sitting here next to you." She says, "This has everything to do with Terry Shortridge. You remember those attorneys in Olympia, John?" "Yeah." She, I go, "What the fuck does this have to do with Terry Lance Shortridge?" She says, "Oh, you're gonna find out." You know, I mean, I think I've lost it on the words right there, but I'll tell you what, she was sitting there dancing around. I have actually wrote and documented this on the Tube Sock Killers that this here happened. When this group came after me, when they found out that I had a diary and I was keeping notes, you know, I told Marietta, I said, "Jesus Christ," she asked me, "why do you have a diary?" and so defensively and stuff to me. And I said, "Because I have custody of this boy. I have to deal with the ex-wife and her antics. So I write everything down that's going around because you guys keep doing stuff all together, you know." I said, I write everything down. I write my money down. I write my bills down. I know where every dime of my money goes. Is there anything wrong with that?" I mean, she asked me, "Where do I get my information?" I mean, at other times and other things. And I said, "Google." I said, "It's right there." I said, "Everything that's ever happened is right there. If it was listed in newspaper, it's there." You know, I furnished my mother a computer. The computer that was in her house, the only computers that my mother ever used in that house that I know of, I furnished her with it. I know I gave her my first computer that I ever got from that company down in California that I sold computers from. I sold their computers. You know, I ran 5 state network ads. I do marketing. That's why you see me here. That's why I hooked up with probably a person from the radio station, Kathy. She used to go by Kathy Christopher now. Then she came by Kathy V. You know, she has some interesting things that did happen in her life as well as my own. I mean, I'll say something nice that happened to her. She was at a gas station. She pulled into a gas station, and she went inside, and the woman says, "You're Samoan?" And she says, "Yeah." She says, "I'm," you know, and she said her name, and she says, "No, no, what's your island name?" And she says, "Oh, Via Vanua, Via Vanua." And she goes, "Hey, I know some Via Vanuas." And within an hour or so, she was talking to her dad. And that happened right here in Olympia, Washington. She pulled in and she told me the story. Also, Brian Silcox, he came to my house. Her son, which is my stepson, and my my son's, half brother from the same woman, by the way. Well, actually, he may not be my son, but I've always accepted Matthew Thomas Wright as my son, even though it doesn't say so on the birth certificate. I took him in because she wouldn't raise the children. She wouldn't raise Brian, the stepboy that got killed in the car. That boy was living out at Tom and Laura Jones's place, out there next to 1,000 Trails, But Kyle and Andy was at my house, and the Adolphson boy was driving the car, but those two boys were at my house the night before they died in that car wreck. And Brian's friend Red came over and talked to me and told me that he was supposed to be in that car that very night, but he didn't go. He didn't go. Red's also the one that came to the bowling alley, was acting out, and threw rocks out on the bowling lanes, and I went to his house and I talked to his mother. When things happen in Lewis County and your children are involved, it might not be the cops that come to your house and talk to you about your kid. It might be me. And Red's really lucky that I came and talked to him and his mother. And it saved his life from getting in that car. And even though Red pissed me off by coming around my house prior to all this with Brian and some kids, and they were all, I don't know what they were doing there. He put a cigarette butt out on my car, and why these actions was happening when I was running a bowling alley in Lewis County, and everybody was coming in to me and telling me their problems and stuff, and I was running it like Cheers on the East Coast, the Cheers bar, with Ted Danson. We got Woody Harrelson, all these people coming in like this. Well, it's easy to, do a little thing with it. Jesus Christ, you feel like you're a psychiatrist all the time, dealing with people. Even the owner of the bowling alley had problems. I had one guy come in, and Ron Fanning, and Ron Fanning told me, he says, if this guy that owns this bowling alley, Herb Kreitzer, ever does anything to one of my kids, he says, I want to know about it. I goddamn want to know about it. Ron comes in that bowling alley, him and his wife. And his wife is a lot more friendlier than Ron is towards Herb at the desk, if Herb's there. The dad will go over there, Ron Sr. will go over there and sit on the bleachers and watch his kids bowl. Ronnie and Jeremy. Jeremy Fanning's dead now. He got hurt in a motorcycle accident south of Chehalis. I don't know what happened. Very nice boy. My son Matthew and him used to spend the night at each other's house. And anyway, Ron told me about him getting shot by Herb in the neck with an arrow. Yeah, I think it was actually a crossbow. But Herb shot him right in the neck and stuck him to a tree, I think it was. But somebody would have to ask Ron Fanning. I thought it was a terrible thing, and when he told me about this, I could only see Terry Shortridge get shot. It's like, when I'm running this bowling alley, things are happening. I got bullet holes in the windows of the bowling alley. Well, I only had one, but where there's one come from, there's more. One day I come in the bowling, I came in, I come in the bowling alley, Herb's there already. I come in, I start doing my thing, I walk over, I flip over the open sign. I walk around the bleachers, I flip open the open sign. There's a goddamn bullet hole right there where I'm standing. Flipping that over. I come over and apparently Herb's already seen it when he came in the bowling alley. In the morning, I mean, it's hard not to miss, I guess. Well, I missed it when I came in, but Jesus Christ, I'm coming in because I got the boss in the house. And you don't know what kind of mood Herb's in the morning. Generally, he's in a good mood. I mean, especially after we got that thing smoothed out and, you know, the things that was bothering him was, you know, alleviated. And I'm the one that alleviates things because it's like he said one day to me, "What are you doing in my bowling alley?" and well, we already had a phone call prior to this where he called me up and he's in his fishing boat fishing and the bowling league's going on, and, you know, he's left me with his bowling alley when I first met him. None of the bowling machines are working properly. There's at least 3 of them that's really... I'm in the back room constantly during this league. And I get this phone call and the phone's back there. I go, "Hey, let's bowl." It's Herb. And he goes, he can hear I'm in the machine room on that phone. And he goes, "How's it going down there?" And I said, "Who's this?" Because I goddamn knew who it was. And I said, "How do you run a fucking bowling alley from the machine room?" And I slammed the phone down. And he never came in. And I fucking, after league, I went in there and I just started going through machines. First, the problematic ones, I wrote their numbers down. I went right to them and I went and eliminated the problems. And then I went and started at one end of the bowling alley, and I went to the other end of the bowling alley over a 2-week time period. Every chance I could get, going and finish cleaning up and doing stuff back and forth across this thing. Right down to getting the old bowling pins that was broke, the pieces, out of the table that would make everything malfunction because it couldn't move freely. So anyway, he doesn't know what I've done to his bowling alley. All I've done is started PMing it, cleaning it up, cleaning the pins. When I cleaned the pins and he caught me cleaning the pins, he freaked out. "I don't pay you to clean pins." And that night, Jerry Hewitt bowled a 299, you know. And he said, when I came in that night, that morning, he goes, "Jesus," he says, "do you know what happened last night? Do you know what happened last night?" I go, "I don't know what happened last night." She goes, "Jerry Hewitt bowled a 299. And I'm like, "Well, it wasn't a 300 game." You know? And I start walking off to the machine, and he goes, "John, but it was a 299. You know? I'm like, well, you know, I mean, what can I say? I get my shit jumped on for cleaning bowling pins when I've already done everything else in the house. You know? I mean, first you got to do your list, then you got to clean it up. Anyway, he says, if you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean, and I'm just doing goddamn, he tells me to, because I take orders pretty goddamn good when my boss says he wants something to fucking happen, man. So anyway, my name's John Wright, and good morning. I'm having my cup of coffee, and there's a picture of my brother Jerry. Oh, they turned my life upside down. I want to turn their life upside down. I want to turn my life back right side up. And I want to turn your life right side up for you too, because if they've been doing it to me, America, they've been doing it to you. And I mean that sincerely when I say that. Thank you for your time, and you have a great day today. It's Saturday, and remember, if you see garbage, pick it up, and especially if somebody's watching you, let it be known. There's garbage over there, you can pick it up too. And have a nice day, because John Wright told you so. Thank you very much for being here.